So, you're getting ready to sell your house. And let's be honest, you're jumping into a pretty crowded pool. How in the world do you make your listing the one that everyone stops to look at? Well, today we're going to break down the single most powerful strategy to make sure your home doesn't just blend in, but totally stands out online. Okay, first things first, let's get this core idea locked in. Before anyone ever thinks about booking a tour or walking through your front door, they've already seen your house. They've swiped through the kitchen, zoomed in on the living room, all from their phone. That first impression, it happens right there on the screen. And you want to know how long you have to make that first impression? About 3 seconds. Seriously, that's it. That's pretty much the average time a buyer gives a listing before their thumb decides to keep on scrolling. In those 3 seconds, your one and only job is to stop that scroll. So, how do you win that 3-second showdown? It all comes down to a killer 1-2 punch. Professional staging working hand in hand with professional photography. This combo is, without a doubt, the secret to making a listing that just pops off the screen. Here's how to think about it. Staging and photography, they're like a perfect team. Staging does all the prep work. It sets the scene, it creates a vibe, it makes rooms feel bigger, and tells a story that buyers can actually see themselves in. Then, photography swoops in to capture that magic. It freezes that perfect moment in time, showing off the home's absolute best angles and sealing the deal on that amazing first impression. What we're talking about here is pure synergy. You know, when 1 + 1 = 3. Sure, good staging is nice, and yeah, great photos are good too. But when you put them together, the result is just so much more powerful. You're creating an experience that gets buyers to connect emotionally before they even know what's happening. All right, let's dig into the why. Why are great photos so incredibly good at selling homes? Because it's not really about just making a room look pretty. It's about psychology. It's about making a potential buyer actually feel something. See, staging is what sets the photographer up for success. When a home is staged right, the light just bounces around beautifully, making everything feel bright and inviting. All the clutter is gone, so rooms suddenly feel way bigger. Everything looks intentional, which sends this subconscious signal that the home is well cared for. But maybe most importantly, it removes just enough of your personality so that buyers can start picturing their own stuff, their own lives right there in that space. And the best part? You can make a huge difference yourself with just a few simple moves before the photographer shows up. First, clear off every single surface. Think clean lines. Second, open up all the blinds, let that beautiful natural light just flood in. Third, toss a cozy blanket over a chair or add a couple of nice pillows. And last, do a quick sweep for all the little distracting things, phone chargers, pet bowls. Get them out of sight. It's amazing what a difference these little things make. Okay, talk is cheap, right? Let's look at a real-life story where this strategy completely changed the game. We're going to check out a home in Fall River, Massachusetts, that went from being totally overlooked to being the talk of the town. So here was the deal. It was a great house, it had good bones, lots of charm, but you would never know it from the pictures. They were just meh, flat. Nothing about them made you stop and go, ooh, I want to see more of that. And the result? Well, it was exactly what you'd expect. Crickets. The listing was just sitting online, collecting digital dust. Barely any clicks, and definitely no requests for showings. It was completely lost in the noise. But then came the turning point. The sellers brought in a professional stager, and bam, everything changed. Suddenly, the living room was bright and airy. The dining room felt like a place you'd want to have friends over. The whole house just looked capable. It looks like a well-run, welcoming, desirable home. So they got a professional to shoot new photos of the beautifully staged rooms, and they uploaded them to the listing. The change was, and I'm not exaggerating, immediate. Within a few hours, not days, hours, the phone started ringing with showing requests. They had officially stopped the scroll. And here's the best part, the payoff. The home sold. And not only did it sell fast, but it sold for more money than they were expecting. That right there is the return on investment you're looking for. That story is the perfect lead-in to our final point here, which is all about how this process unlocks the financial potential hidden in your home. It's literally about turning those casual online clicks into serious competitive offers. When you look at the data, the story is consistent. A home that's been professionally staged and photographed doesn't just feel better, it performs better. It almost always sells for a higher price than a similar home that hasn't had the same treatment. You're creating value that buyers can see, and that translates directly into dollars.
When you get right down to it, by investing in staging and photography, you're just creating a superior product. It's a listing that's way easier for your agent to market, way easier for buyers to fall in love with online, and because of that, it's just so much easier to sell.
And that really brings us full circle to the number one goal of this whole thing. It is all about one thing: achieving maximum online impact. You want your listing to be the one that gets all the saves, all the shares, and all the showing requests. That is how you win in this market.
So I'll just leave you with this one question. As a buyer is mindlessly scrolling through 100 other homes, is your home's first impression, those first 3 seconds, powerful enough to make them slam on the brakes and say, "Whoa, wait a minute, I have to see this one"? Thanks so much for tuning in.